Welcome to Taco Tuesday on Mornings and Michael. Mornings with Michael. Happy Tuesday to everyone, and go out and get yourself a nice taco. Well, let's move on to the news. World News ECB survey noted that expectations for inflation 3 years ahead fell to 2.5% from 2.9%. In the UK, the British Retail Consortium, BRC, published the May retail sales. It showed same-source sales at 3.7% in May versus 5.2% prior. Chinese authorities asked the nation's biggest banks to lower their deposit rates for at least the second time in less than a year, said Bloomberg. Now on to our companies. In consumer, JOANN Stores, JOAN first quarter EPS 93-cent loss versus estimate of 66-cent loss. Molson Coors TAP upgraded to neutral from underperform at Bank of America and raised target to $68 from $54. Saying the company's recent market share gains related to the Bud Light boycott have lasted long enough to positively impact sales and earnings. McCormick, MKC, upgraded to buy from underperform at Bank of America. Thor Industries, THO, quarter three EPS $2.24 versus estimate of $1.07. Wow, that's quite a beat. Energy, Industrials and Materials, Bluebird, BLBD, announced offering of 5 million shares of common stock for holders. Exelon, EXC, reaffirmed prior target of 68% operating EPS CAGR, CAGR, from 2021 to 2025, with the expectations to be midpoint or better, current target of 68% operating EPS. Old Dominion Freight Lines, ODFL, said its May less than truckload revenue per day drops 15.7%. This is said that the decrease was mainly due to a 14.4% drop in LTL tons per day. Rollins, ROL, files for mixed shelf up to $1.5 billion. Financials, AIG said an offering of 65 million existing shares of Corebridge, CBRG, in secondary offering. Blackstone, BX, has agreed to sell the JW Marriott San Antonio Hill Country Resort and Spa for $800 million to Ryman Hospitality Properties, RHP. NASDAQ, NDAQ, says May U.S. equity options volume of 269 million was up 6.7% year over year versus 208 million contracts in April. On to healthcare. Alkermes, ALKS, raises 2023 revenue and GAAP net income expectations by approximately 425 million after it announced it received its final award from the arbitration tribunal, proceedings with Janssen Pharmaceuticals. Cigna, CI, upgraded to buy from neutral at Bank of America. GE Healthcare, GEHC, files to sell 25 million shares of common stock for holders. GlaxoSmithKline, GSK, said the FDA has accepted supplemental biologics license applications for Jemperli endometrial cancer treatment in combination with chemotherapy. Home Equity, HKY, first quarter adjusted EPS 50 cents versus 41 cents. On to technology, media, and telecom. Taiwan Semi, TSM, CEO said at its annual shareholder meeting it expects its performance to be better in the second half of the year than the first. First half revenue is expected to drop 10% year over year in US dollar terms. AT&T upgraded to market perform from underperform at Moffett Nathanson. Celestica, CLS, files to sell 12 million subordinate voting shares for a holder of for holder Onyx Corporation. Mobileye Global, MBLY, files preliminary prospectus for offering 35 million shares of common stock by selling stockholder. GitLab, GTLB, first quarter EPS 6-cent loss versus estimate of 14-cent. Sprinkler, CXM, quarter one adjusted EPS 6 cents versus estimate of 1 cent. And finally, IDT Corporation, third quarter EPS 46 cents on revenues of 18.1 million. So that's our news for today. Let's go share our screen here. Oh my goodness. I forgot to update one of the screens. So we can take a look at it live here. I'm just updating the screen as we speak. So this is our heat map. So where the money is flowing, big money is flowing, continues to flow into communication services, consumer and cyclical, Amazon, Tesla, Meta, Disney, Google, and then in financial, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Berkshire Hathaway, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and there's some industrials moving up. So that's where we are there. And once again, let me just reiterate. This is a look at our annuity screen. Put your money in annuity, and guess what? It's going to beat the index. Why is that? Because the index goes down when the stock market sells off, and the annuity doesn't. Index's average annual growth is 7.57. The annuity average annual growth is 12.58. I think your money is better put into an annuity or a life insurance IUL. Sleep better at night, and your money grows faster. Plus, an annuity will give you oftentimes a bonus of, say, 25% on whatever money you put in. They'll match 25% bonus to it. So that's the story there. Go back here and share our screen. First, let's look at our dollar. Dollar is up slightly. Hasn't really moved too much in the last week, which is good for our NASDAQ related stocks. Take a look at our 10-year bond yields. The bond yields are moving up. It's going to put pressure on stocks. Bond yields are pretty flat, not doing too much today, up 0.3%. Take a look at the 20-year. 20-year is down slightly. Take a look at the 1 to 3 year bonds. They're down slightly, so the yield is up slightly, but it's really not moving too much. Take a look at Bitcoin, which was down significantly yesterday, is bouncing slightly today. Some pretty good volume, up 4.19%. Ethereum is bouncing as well, on a much 2.1%. Take a look at gold. Gold continues to move up slightly, 0.24%. Take a look at copper. Southern Copper is up slightly. We'll take a look at one more copper issue. Arrow Copper is also up slightly, a Canadian company engaged in production. Let's look at silver. Silver is trying to stay above the declining 10-day moving average. We'll continue to watch that. Take a look at the volatility index. Continues to drop. At some point, I believe this is going to pop up again. But inversely related to the S&P. So the S&P is up 0.04%, not doing too much today. And NASDAQ off slightly, basically pretty flat for the day. Take a look at small cap issues. Wow, the small caps really bounced. That's some pretty good volume. Bounced off of its 200-day moving average. And our ETF, the Dow Jones, continues to pull back. So let's take a look at what's moving the market. Utilities, trying to maintain above the 10-day moving average. Communications continues to lead the market. It's up another 0.8%. Real estate, not doing too much as long as it remains under the 200-day moving average. It's nothing to get too excited about. Take a look at energy, trying to remain above the 10 and 20-day. Oil pricing, trying to remain relevant. Take a look at our building materials, kind of flat. Industrials, doing a little better than the Dow Jones Industrials, but it's pretty flat. Healthcare, which had a nice run here, is pulling back to its declining 10-day moving average. Financials continue to do well. They're now above the 10, 20, and 50-day moving average. See if it can get above the 50. Consumer sector. Wow. This continues to do well. This is kind of bearish indicator, but it continues to shine. Our technology, pulling back a little bit, has become extended, and we'll see this can consolidate here. It's moving down in pretty low volume, which is a good sign. Semiconductor, just remaining in that range, which is good. Airlines, trying to show some strength here popping up. It had good volume the other day that it popped up, but we'll have to see how it closes here. Leisure activity starting to look pretty good. Marriott bouncing up. Take a look at Hilton Grand Vacations. Airbnb. Not too much happening there, but that's a good sign. And finally, let's take a look at cyber. It remains in a pretty good tight trading range. It's a positive sign, actually. So let's take a look what's moving. Yeah, so Bioscience sold off so much, it's moving up slightly. GitLab gapped up on its earnings. Earnings surprise of 58%. That'll get, and we got huge volume 2 days in a row. So we'll continue to watch that. It is a little extended. Coinbase is selling off today. Gap down 12.31%. AMD, it's continuing its strong run here, up another 4%. Unity Software, still pretty tight range. Thor Industries gapping up 16.42%. We've got a negative earnings here, but let's see if that's an earnings surprise. 125% earnings surprise. That is definitely an earnings surprise. So once again, it's near the top of its range. In the software sector, Smartsheet powering up, pretty good volume. Looks like a breakout we got here. At a pretty tight range here, which is a good sign. And it's just exploding off of, it's exploding out of the buy range here. Automobiles, Lee is looks like it's breaking out of its consolidation at previous highs here. Pretty good volume as well. Also in the software, Frog is leaping to new highs. Once again, here's this tight trading range, or what we can call as a shelf. It's just breaking out of there and pretty good volume. We had a kind of presence of things to come right here. Had a little bit of sell-off, not much movement on it on that sell-off, and it just powers through again here today. DigitalOcean, strong volume here. Cloud-based, another software company. And see where all the money is moving into software. MongoDB, database platform continues to shine over here, gapped up on 180% in earnings increase and just continues. Look at all this buying. That's not your mother Sarah buying there. And let's see where we go. Apollo Global Management, working with private equity. Looks like it's working on a base here. Continue to watch this. Yes, you could say it broke out back here. Got an airline, Copa Holdings, Panamanian Airline. Once again, is breaking out of a consolidation on some pretty good volume. Vicor, not doing too much today. Martin Marietta continues to do well here. Produces crushed stone and other aggregates for infrastructure. See if there's any more interesting in our top 10. Frycut, here's an arts and crafts company that had led before. Oh, wow, look at that massive move. Right over here. There's just been a lot of buying in here. And today it had another massive move. G3 Apparel up 23% on its earnings. Came in at a negative 82%. Negative 70% earnings surprise, and it still is jumping. It must have been something that was said on the conference call. Take a look at one other, Bilibili. Up 6.6%, but this thing is below all the moving average. So we'll move on. See what's down in volume today. Oh, look at that massive move. 40% down on huge, massive earnings. I think that one of their therapies may have not produced the news I was looking for. So yesterday, a lot of money was moving into biotech and health, and today it's moving out of there. Ciena designs Ethernet switching system. Earnings came in at 48%. Earnings surprised of 300%. So it must have been something on the earnings call. That's all I can think of. Be down 12%. iRhythm Technologies, digital healthcare, down 3.76%, but it's fighting back. But this thing has sold off so many days in a row. So it's obviously that professional money managers are moving out of this for some reason or the other. Cracker Barrel gapping down 4.16%, negative 6% earnings, and 10, almost 11% earnings surprise to the negative. Star Surgical down about 5%. Huge volume here. number of days in a row, large volume. Nevro, spinal cord stimulation system for treatment of chronic leg and back pain, gaps down, well, almost 13%. And it is at the height of its gap down, but look at this volume. That's not a good sign. And finally, Opera ADR, Norway-based company, designs and develops web browsers. It's pulling back, but it is so well extended from all of its moving averages, you would expect some consolidation. So that is our report for today. This has been Mornings with Michael for informational, educational, and sometimes entertainment purposes. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us and go out there, make your Taco Tuesday a good one, help one another, and just look for the good in everyone that you see out there. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.